There are two concepts in economics. One is called price sensitivity and one is called price consciousness. Price sensitivity means that when you touch the price, people will change what they do. Okay, so there are some products, immediately you change the price, people will react.
Yeah.
But most Ghanaians are more price conscious. They are aware of other prices and they choose packages that fit them. So that's more why in Ghana, pricing is such a complicated issue. Because most people think the only way to increase profit is to raise price. And we've discussed this many times on the show that in Ghana, people price in a way that doesn't make any sense. Also because it's almost like a seller's market, particularly for rent. But I digress. The point I'm making is that this DSTV issue is, I don't think it should be as complicated as we are making it seem.
So there's a reduction.
See, there are two issues. I think the minister raised expectations and his rhetoric suggested people expected a certain kind of price reduction, particularly because DSTV in June had already given a 1 month similar package of this. The only difference is that in that package, they didn't reduce the price of the decoder, and those in premium didn't get anything, and it was just for 1 month. And you had to have paid to be upgraded, and there was no downgrade. Now, yesterday, I pressed the minister carefully and asked him, what is the difference between what they offered us in June and this one?
Yeah, he says this is different.
He says this one, from 1st October, it kicks in automatically. Number two, I asked him, does it have an expiry date? The answer he gave on the record was no. He says there is a review every 3 months, but he does not believe it is expiring. Number three, can somebody who wants to stay on his package get a cheaper price? So, for example, I pay 570 or 580 for Compact Plus. If I choose to pay that again, I'll be upgraded to premium. But if I don't want premium and I want to stay at Compact Plus, according to the minister's explanation, I pay 380, which is the bundle for Compact, and still get the Compact Plus. So if you calculate that, 570 minus 380, all right, over 570, it's a 33% reduction. So it is a reduction. All right, let's not make it complicated. So the fact is a reduction. The issues around the expectations he built and the rhetoric is what has made people disappointed. But let's be very honest. You cannot complicate the matter. It is a reduction.
I have a couple of questions.
You should be providing answers, not asking me questions.
You interviewed the minister.
You worked in media as long as I have.
You interviewed the minister, so my
but we all listen to the interview. Well, let's listen to the
but just generally, a couple of things I want to think about, and I must say I understand what has been done pretty clearly, and my official position on it is that the success or otherwise of it is when it is implemented.
Correct.
Because like as we were discussing in pre-production meeting, incentive-driven solutions are complicated, and normally the mistake policymakers do is they underestimate the ingenuity of human beings to find solutions to take advantage of incentives.
And they overestimate the understanding of the general public.
The general public.
In some of these issues.
In some of these issues. So I am waiting for at least the month of October to come, and then people test it and see, and then we will see the success or otherwise. But have I not always had the ability to downgrade?
That's a good question.
As I cast up, because I was on Premium Plus previously.
Yeah.
I went to Compact.
Yeah.
Didn't like Compact. Came to Compact Plus.
Yeah.
This is something I've done in the past 2 years.
But when you downgraded, did you get the same
Hold on.
package?
I am coming. So my downgrade, the choice of a downgrade or the choice of bouquet, is it based on the price or is it based on content?
Well, I think
Hold on. Okay. So the question we ask ourselves as consumers then is, what was the base problem then for us? Was our base problem the price?
Affordability.
No, I'm coming. The price of what we were watching or
the package?
The package.
That's a very good question.
You understand?
The way I will resolve it is to say...
No, I'm just asking questions. I don't need answers.
No. Okay, but let me tell you my view. I think that you cannot separate price from what you get.
I'm coming. You see, which let me finish.
Okay, go ahead.
You see, because the person who was paying for Paddy knew why he went for Paddy. But did that person have ambitions of watching Premier League?
That's a good question.
Or the person just wanted to watch Paddy? So now, does the person get the added benefit of Premier League, or whoever was on a different package gets this. Does this also take into account a guarantee of certain kinds of content? So, for instance, I could not watch the US Open. The US Open was on certain channels.
I think it was on premium.
Yeah, I'm coming on certain channels on premium, right? So, does this solution take care of the fact that the guarantee is on access to channels? Is it not?
Yes.
So you are saying that if you downgrade to a certain thing, you get this.
Yeah.
If I decide then to move certain channels to a certain price band, would the consumer be able to complain that but I was paying this to be able to watch this? But the operator will tell you that my arrangement was to provide a specific number of channels, not a particular type of channel.
So that one again,
you understand? So what then happens is, if I decide to move Premier League to 195, but replace it with Magahoba TV in 203, and move that 195 to premium,
that would be bad faith.
No, hold on.
That would be bad faith.
Hold on.
Because you have pre-existing packages that we are deciding. You know what I'm saying? If the company does that,
hold on.
No, I'm just saying if the company does that, it will be bad faith.
Hold on.
It's like they are shifting the goalposts to deceive the public.
No, I'm asking questions.
Hold on.
No, the same.
It will be disingenuous.
That's why I'm asking questions.
It will be disingenuous. Or don't you think so? How do you now change the? How do you change the meaning of a package after the price?
No,
that would not make sense.
No, I'm saying because prices change for also the purchase of rights. The prices of rights are not constant. You've been purchasing rights.
Yeah, but
hold on.
But the rights have been bought for the year.
I'm not complaining about it. So I'm saying that this can hold constant for a year. If the person goes in for a new bed, and the prices change, does this impact it?
That's why they said they will do a review every 3 months. So there's a working committee that's always going to review this. So it's not a static point.
Which is also fine. So in the end, my very basic question was, like, at the baseline, what was the problem we were trying to solve? Was it a price problem, or was it access to content problem? Because now we've always said some of the content was not useful.
Yeah.
So you are saying I get less. Am I supposed to be suddenly satisfied that I'm paying less, but I have access to the content I have always not found useful? Because I don't watch 80% of the channels I have. And I am complaining that, why am I paying for this thing, right? But now you say, oh, you pay less, but keep the channels anyway. So that is suddenly supposed to take away my discontent with the quality of the service.
At the risk of playing like a...
I'm just asking questions.
It doesn't matter. We're having a conversation. You see, for me, this is the way I see it. The minister set his own question. He said the price was exorbitant. What is the background to this whole discussion? DSTV in April increased their prices by 15%, right? Then somewhere in June, the minister said, no, you cannot increase your price when inflation has come down and the FX
is stable.
The currency has appreciated, because the main basis for your price was the currency for Ghana. And then he compared the cost for a specific package for DSTV across very many countries and said Angola and Ghana have the same population. Why is Angola's package this low and Ghana's own this high? If you are saying that Nigeria has a bigger base and therefore they are able to charge less. So it was always a price issue. At least that's how I see it. Which is why in the interview I had with him, the question I asked him was this the price reduction you had always anticipated? Because when the minister raised this issue, within that period, in June, DSTV offered a 1-month upgrade of the same nature that the man
is offering.
And I also pointed out to the minister that DSTV had written in response to your call for a price reduction to say that they could not reduce their prices in the manner
in which the minister wanted it.
Just so for me, my main issue with the minister was the manner, because for me, as somebody who studied a bit of economics, there are many ways of reducing prices. So I thought the bone of contention between the minister and DSTV was the manner of the reduction. So for me, from DSTV did not seem to have a problem with adjusting or upgrading people temporarily. Because if you read Alex Ottery's press statement carefully, he kept saying, it is not possible to reduce the price in the manner the minister. So, and I'm saying that. So, what was the manner the minister was proposing against the? Because you can deduce from the June offer that DSTV, in their mind, could reduce prices by offering you a higher package. Now, what's the difference between what has happened and what they offered? According to the minister, it's not for 1 month. It is permanent. We'll hold him by his word. Number two, you asked an important question. This issue of downgrade. In fact, there's a question the minister couldn't answer yesterday. I asked him, let me give you an example. My DSTV calendar is around 20th, 21st, 22nd of a month.
Yeah.
So I have already paid for September into October. Yeah. So the question I asked him was that, is there automaticity with my movement? Because I have paid 570
to
for
cover
Compact Plus. And you say the price change takes effect from October. Tomorrow is 1st October. So the question I asked him was, Mr. Minister, can I expect that tomorrow morning,
you are premium,
because they have me in their record, that I've already paid for Compact Plus?
So it must reflect automatically.
He said he would have to check. That's the answer. You can play the audio. That's so I said that. I'll give you that. You may not have the modalities, but I think it's an important point because the DSTV rep was there when he gave the press conference. I'm hoping that his interpretation of what Mr. Samuel George read is the same as what Mr. Samuel George also thought. Because somebody asked a question, can you reduce your package? So for example, you're on Compact Plus. You say you don't like premium. So you are going to go down, you want to maintain your Compact Plus. If you pay $370, will the DSTV algorithm recognize that Mr. Godfred has decided to maintain his Compact Plus package by paying for Compact? Or will they say you owe? This is what I say. Let's learn from Parliament. Usually when Parliament passes a law, they also come up with what is called, what do you call it? The LI, or the regulations, which spells out the specific details of the broad law. I think for the minister to help himself and for all of us to be helped, there has to be a release of the details, because you see, most people listening to this program and most people may not have access to a politician like I do, and I don't have the time or the responsibility to educate them on this. I think the company and the ministry must issue guidelines and specific modalities, because if the minister cannot tell me whether I automatically will move or I have to go to my next payment date to be moved, it tells you clearly that there are some fine deals that need to be worked out. And I was thinking that for a committee to have met from 7th September to 29th September, beyond issuing a 1.5 page statement, they could have handed out guidelines, or the company could have posted the specific details. Do you get my point? So your questions are legitimate. I think I also have legitimate questions. But I think that the basic issue of whether there's a reduction or not, we shouldn't split hairs about that. There is a reduction. Because from every definition of a price reduction,
this is it.
Yeah, so for that one, I don't even think it's something we should spend 2 hours arguing over.
Well, let me give you some messages. Abeku, help me. Kaka, you have it?
Yeah. So this person says, hello, greetings, CT team. Please, this is Takashi Tactics.
This Takashi.
I thought it was a Japanese.
No,
I thought it was a Japanese name.
She's already in Japan.
So please.
Takashi be Takashi.
But you can't even spell Takashi with
where is it from?
In Ghanaian language.
Takashi is Hausa.
There is K?
No.
There's K?
There's K.
Takashi is Hausa.
There's K. It doesn't mean I'm dead. Let me know my message.
Someday on this program, we were talking about spa, and I mentioned Kalu.
Yes.
Nana didn't know what Kalu was.
I know.
Do you know what Kule? Do you know what Kule is?
Yes. Okay. So this message says, please, this Takashi Tactics will not help we the ordinary Ghanaian. So please, we need tariffs reduction on electricity and water to the lowest starting tomorrow, October 1st. Here's another one. Good morning, City CBS. I'm Bullet from Mankasim. On the DSTV issue, if I pay for family now and upgrade to compact, will I be paying for family or compact on my next renewal? Alvino from Akosombo says, good morning, Caleb. Please tell the minister DSTV is also adjusting prices in Liberia, so it's not exclusive to Ghana. Andrews Akpo from Adenta says, I think many people don't fully appreciate what Sam George has achieved. He has managed to create a system where you can downgrade your package but still receive the same benefits you had before while paying less. The only package that does not reduce the cost but actually increases the number of channels is the Paddy Bouquet. Charles from Tema says the DSTV price reduction is a testament to how bad most Ghanaians are at logical reasoning and maths. It's really simple, guys. Example, if 10 Ghana cedis of fuel gets you 5 liters and you want to increase the value of the 10 Ghana cedis, you either increase the volume of the fuel to 8 liters for the same 10 cedis, or you decrease the price to 6 Ghana cedis to get the 8 liters. Promise achieved. How is this difficult to understand?
What if it's a choice between V Power and Super?
No, but the assumption is the same product. Don't compare.
No, you see,
the guy's example is correct.
No, because there are premium products within this.
No.
Super Sport 3 is not available everywhere.
But Governor, you see, let's not overcomplicate it.
No, I'm not complicating. I'm just saying
the person's analogy is correct on the assumption that you are buying the same product.
I'm just saying.
It's almost like saying it's almost like saying.
But V Power is not the same
it's almost
as Super.
like saying,
is it not fuel?
What is productivity? You can do more with the same, or you can use. Do you understand? Or you can use less to achieve the same. Do you understand? So it's a question of per unit. So I don't think, you see, what I'm saying is that people may have confusion, but we shouldn't add to it.
Add to the confusion. You go on.
Because I don't want to create a problem when there is none.
In fact, there's a question I also want to add.
Yeah.
Premium.
Yeah.
What happens to premium?
It's a raffle.
I want to hear him.
What do you mean what happens to premium? I think Sky.
As a bouquet, does it exist? What's the difference between
I asked him that question yesterday.
A premium user and
only the raffle? So what I asked the minister was that from basically what they've done, the premium package
shouldn't exist.
Doesn't exist. And his point was that those who don't mind and want to stay paying 865, he called them price agnostics, they will enter a raffle. Anybody on premium who wants to take advantage of the offer should pay for compact plus, you still get the premium. That's what he said. So if you pay 865 or 860 whatever as premium customer and you want to keep paying it means maybe you want to win a raffle to go and watch some Man U game.
Okay.
If you don't want to pay 865 and you still want your premium, pay 570 and still get your premium. So it means that in my view the premium bundle has effectively been killed. Unless for people who want to enter a raffle.
Well, is it good faith to keep the premium bundle?
Maybe some people are there who don't care. Some people may have, I don't know. That's a question for the company to ask.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
And
we are told we'll hear from DSTV.
What is even sad about what's sad about all of this? That you see, because the minister took such a frontal role in this discussion, it has allowed the company to be quiet, and the company should be working. People are paid to do this type of thing.
Yeah.
Somebody should sit down and write an FAQ.
Yeah.
Do you understand? I don't even think the minister. I don't even think it's good optics for the minister to be the one explaining price and mentioning raffle. In my view, he could have possibly said, we have had a meeting with the stakeholders. A rep from the committee who works for DSTV is coming to announce the bundle package. That's what I think should have been done.
Explain it.
You see, by his style, which he chooses to do what he wants. His style is he wants to be at the front and center of the discourse, and he will come and announce it. I don't think it's good optics for a minister to announce the price for a private company if it's not a utility. Do you understand? So for me, but he's sort of bitten the bone. He has to chew it.
Yeah.
That's the approach he's used.
Well, Sky, I haven't heard you much on this one. Are you which package are you on? Are you excited you're getting more for that, or you don't have issue with pricing? You are price agnostic. So you're a premium guy. You also don't want a raffle. You are just there.
I want to provoke the young man.
I would ignore everything you have said.
You're price agnostic.
No, he's price agnostic.
But the way you laugh suggests that you are quite wealthy. The way you laugh.
Well, then maybe it's in the spirit. It's coming.
The way you laugh. A man cannot be broke and laugh like this.
No, that is how you should actually laugh like that when you are broke. It's all about packaging.
You laugh with such reckless abandon.
Yes, careful that.
No, it's just packaging. It's a question of how people perceive you. That's what matters, you know. Well, I mean, look, I don't have much to say about this because I have stated my position clearly on this matter previously, that it is not the business of a minister of state, however powerful, however intelligent, to be determining for, private companies how they set their prices. If the government is minded to want to cause companies to do better with pricing, then they should look at how much taxes companies are paying. Let them improve the environment and all of these things so that, yes, we know that, well, you have reduced the burden of the companies will do what they have to do. All of these long explanation they are giving you, what does it mean? Anything that you take so much time to want to explain that it is this. Look, in economics, they call it constructive reduction of price. That's what we are saying. No price has actually moved down, but they are telling you that they are giving you more value. Look, I'm going to London. I want to take, economy class. That's what I buy. I said, no, it is too expensive for me to buy economy class. It is maybe, say, £1,000, but I want to pay £500, right? The airline says that, oh, no, don't worry. You pay the £1,000. I'll give you, I will upgrade you to economy class, premium economy. Do you understand? So the services that are there, you have better room to navigate. Yeah. That is not what I want. What I want is reduce it by half, so that when I go to London, I'll be able to buy, supporter for my kids, buy toys for my kids, and all of that's what I want. That is what I see as value to me. Reduce the price. That's what the minister promised. So if you come and sit down, you are talking all this big English about this and that, agnostic. That is not what matters to me. What I want is...
You don't like the raffle?
I want to go to London.
Yes.
I want to get there anyway.
Yes.
I want to sit on my economy class.
Sky, you want that 500 pounds?
Can I ask a simple question? Can
I
ask a simple question? You see, what package are you on? You're on premium. Is that what you are?
No, me.
Yes.
Why are you?
Yeah, because you see,
diagnostic lab.
I'm coming. You are saying that you want value, and you use a London analogy. And I'm saying that if you are on a particular package and you want your price to be reduced, just pay for the cost of the lower package. You will still get the same value.
Bernard,
that means that's a reduction in price.
You see, okay, use my analogy to explain it to me, like a 4-year-old.
No, with 500
you are just refusing to understand.
I'm saying
that's why I'm asking you a question. To answer your question, what package are you on?
I am saying.
No, what package are you on?
Bernard, wait, I will come there.
Compact.
I am
a compact plus. Sorry.
I say I'm going to London. I want to. What I normally take is economy class, right?
Yes.
I say it's too expensive to afford economy class at £1,000.
Yes.
I've approached the airline to say, airline, please, can you reduce the thing from say 1,000 to 500, so that when I go, the 500 that I will get, I'll use it to go
because
to
the
Primark.
Economy is also doing better.
So I'll go to Primark and buy a few things, so that when I come back, Charlie, things will pop. The airline says that okay, they are going to think about it. They have come back to say,
why will you use an analogy for something that is an actual example for? Because an analogy is a tool for explanation.
No, because
the airline example may not be relevant because we are talking about a price package for a TV product. So you can help me by saying, okay, Aloski, I am on premium. I pay 860.
You see,
I want cheaper price.
So compact plus.
Yeah, but to go and use airlines like
you know why? You know what?
I'll make you a prophecy.
But you know why? Hold on.
Why is the airline analogy better than the actual issue we are using?
No, you see, because he asked you a question, and then you are now turning back to say,
what question?
It is going to be bad faith.
Yes.
Why has the company been bound to?
Because the company rep was sitting there when the man was talking.
No, it doesn't mean anything.
Which is why I said the ministers were the company's.
No, it doesn't mean anything. The company reserves the right to say that. Yes, the company reserves the right to say that.
We'll see by next week.
No,
by tomorrow we'll know.
I'll make you a prophecy.
Prophesy.
We will move to streaming services for premium DSTV products by January.
As in most of the premium customers.
I will make you a prophecy by January.
If they will be honest with the numbers, then we can check that. I'm saying that, you see, if you want me to answer your question, I can't use the airline analogy. Just use the DSTV analogy. This airline thing is too complicated for me.
They said buy your ticket. Change your airline and buy your ticket earlier.
Let me help you. For example, some airlines have economy. They have premium economy. Airlines have economy, premium economy, business and first class. Let's assume you are on premium economy and you say it's too expensive. They are saying if you pay for economy, if you pay for premium economy, now you're going to upgrade to business.
That's not my problem. My
premium
problem
is too expensive.
My problem is give me the money back because
pay for economy and enjoy premium economy. It's the same thing.
No, it's the same thing.
Obviously, the challenge has been set is how the minister went about the rhetoric.
I'm answering your question. An airline has 4 packages.
Yes.
Economy, premium economy, business, and first class. So you are a premium economy customer and you pay £1,000.
Don't leave it.
As an example, you give me an analogy.
Okay, I said economy. I've been paying for economy.
I can't help you.
If you can't help me there, then that is exactly the point.
I can't help you.
Hold on before you go to Kaka.
I can't help you.
Let us be honest with ourselves. There is something known as reduction simplicity and constructive reduction, which means that look, I am keeping you at what you have been paying all along.
Yeah.
But
I will give you, greater value. And value means all kinds of things to people, right? But what I am looking for is not constructive reduction. I want reduction of the price, simplicity,
progressive reduction.
And then they are coming to give us all these explanations.
So your question is valid for the lowest bundle. If somebody is on paddy, which is the economy analogy, the person so that one I will consider that if the person is on the lowest bundle, there's no where to go.
Yes, that was the principle the minister stated.
That's fair.
Reduction or nothing else. So don't come and give me explanations
which is why I said that the contention between the company and the minister is on the manner of the reduction, and that matter has, in my view, the company seems to have won. Because the manner of the reduction the minister has agreed to seems to be analogous to the original offer they gave customers in June.
Yes.
But the problem is that when the minister said he wanted a reduction, he didn't tell us the manner he wanted.
Yeah, well, that was
what he put out in that notice in September was that the company had said they wanted to charge the same price and not repatriate the revenues, which the minister rejected. So the company had not said then that they wanted to do this change in value. So all of us do not exactly know the nature of the disagreement in the pricing type, which is why they can come together and say we've agreed on this price.
No, he said they should reduce the price by 30%.
Yes.
But
based on what he's done, they've reduced the price by between 30 and 50%.
No, you see, that's what I'm saying that you are talking about. You see, they've done it. You see, if that claim is true, then it shall apply across the board. But you have not been able to tell me how the paddy people, what happens to them. That is why I am saying that, look, don't come and give me all
these. So they have reduced the price, but not for paddy people.
So the paddy people, are they not entitled to the so-called reduction?
They will get more value for what they want.
Who says that that's what I want? That's why I use the airline analogy. That I want to get to London. So if you can't give me the reduction,
fine, let me come in.
Okay,
so I have a question about.
Okay, but your premium is okay.
So I have a question about the increased value. I stand with Sky when he holds the view that this is an indirect reduction. I stand with Sky, and I think he's explained it well. The question I have is, if this is an increased value, I'll go back to the point Godfred made. Value in what sense? Increased value in terms of the channels, the number of channels you're getting, that is quantity. What happens to the argument about quality? Because the minister did make that argument as well. Yeah. And so I question the increased value. The second thing for me is that if there's a cost to this increased value, if you're paying the same price for your subscription, but you're going to get more, who is going to incur that cost?
The company.
The company. Yeah. And so ultimately it's going to come back to consumers.
No. It depends on.
So I want an answer to that.
No, you see, you are making. You are complicating.
It's not for you. It's for them to come and respond to.
You see, let's come and respond. But we also need to know that because we are on air, we should not overcomplicate things which are simple. So whilst the questions are legitimate, what I'm saying is that it is clear. The only question that has not been answered today is the person at the lowest rank
And the person at the top, premium.
Wait,
have you answered the premium question?
It has been answered. If the premium person wants, no, the person at the premium has been answered.
Okay, compact plus.
If the premium person does not want, if the premium person wants a cheaper price, he should just pay the compact plus. So the question which hasn't been answered for the price reduction is the point he raises.
Paddy.
The person at the lowest rank is Paddy. He's paying 55. And he just wants to pay lower for what he gets. He's not going to get that. They are telling him that he should pay the 55 and get more. So on that point, sky is on all fours.
Do you have an answer for my question?
No. Everybody else on the rank, from premium all the way to access, can get a reduction on the basis of the explanation that has been given. The only person who doesn't get a price reduction in the true sense of the word is Sky's economic person.
I understand that. I'm looking at beyond the now, going forward.
Yeah.
If there's going to be a loss or a cost to the increased value that we are getting, I want to know, is DSTV going to incur that cost? Is the government going to step in? Because as a consumer, there are implications.
No problem. What I understand from yesterday's press conference was that the minister also said that for every one illegal decoder in Ghana, there were 5 from Nigeria, and they had been able to shut down, I think from the previous administration, 1 million of them. Yes, 1 million of those decoders. Now that suggests that, and by the way, the company in South Africa still gets the revenue whichever place you buy your decoder from. So the Ghana business and the Ghana government is losing in the sense that if you pay 340 to Nigeria DSTV, the tax goes to Nigeria and doesn't come to Ghana. So I believe that the quid pro quo to the company was that we are shutting down the illegal DSTV connections. So once the revenue of so the assumption is that if 5 of them have been shut and they can't get Nigeria again, maybe 2 of them will come back to Ghana. So the loss amount you get in the price reduction, you get it back from new subscriptions.
Okay. This is the way I see it.
This is the way I see it.
Final question.
I'm coming. I have one more. To have one more question.
Yeah.
So that going forward, are we going to see a ministerial intervention in every matter of competition? Or is it the time?
Is it time to answer that question? Is it time? That's not my question to answer.
Is it time for us to have the proper
I'm
laws
just helping
in place?
you based on the interview I did. Go and listen.
My final question on this before Caleb sacks me.
Yes.
I know you have a big
I
one.
won't sack you.
So today's my day of questions.
Nice.
Is the Nigeria problem solved? Because if we are to compare prices based on this reduction to what happens in Nigeria, we are still higher.
But it's not as high as it used to be.
Yeah, but for the you see, that's the point Sky was making about the exactitude of a reduction.
Yeah.
Even if for the Ghanaian, even if it is 0.5, that one is cheaper.
But don't forget, there's also a cost to bringing Nigerian one in. So if you shut down 1 million Nigerian ones, you have to go and bring. So this depends on how effective they are in clamping down on the Nigeria one. If they are able to shut it down in a way that disincentivize people from getting it, reduce people's interest in getting it. But so long as it's easy to get it, somebody just go and get the next Nigerian one. So those are market dynamics that have to be addressed.
But for those who are still on the Nigeria one, and there are a lot.
Yes.
See, and do you know how I got to know there are still a lot?
Yeah, they'll still be paying.
Because on Saturday, when there seemed to be a small issue with the satellite and the thing was reading something, people were like, hey, Sam George, you've got to disconnect the thing.
Which means we're all Nigeria.
And every single complaint was from Nigeria.
And they're in Ghana.
And they're all here. Every single complaint.
Okay. Lots of messages. At a point, the minister sounded like a marketing representative for DSTV. Okay, Ben Olebu sent that. Good morning, team. I think the minister just wasted our time as Ghanaians. Who says I want to enter a draw to go watch an APL match as a premium user? Okay, Bernard, I'm a regular compact user. Are they saying if I downgrade to family, I'll get compact? My understanding of what they are doing is that as a compact user, I should continue paying my compact, but this time around, I will be upgraded to compact plus. If you downgrade, let's say from compact to family, I don't believe your subscription for family will get you the compact. You watch and see. Okay, that's what you say.